We're spending the entire day riding our bikes around the city. We're also both celebrating our birthdays, so let's go everywhere and do everything and eat whatever we want. Oh, hey buds. We've been waiting for a slow morning on the bike for a while. Spring hits extra hard around here after intense winters, so shedding a layer of clothing and seeing the sunlight hit the city feels like a miracle. But the best and most exciting part is taking our regular bikes outside again. So we have a big old vlog for you today. This ride was full of life, and speaking of which, Emma and I both just turned 35, so there was a lot of reminiscing about our lives so far. We got out early today to check out a new cafe, but first a visit to my local bike shop. I had some fresh tires lined up, also a new cassette to install, and some new fenders to install. My friend Kyle is also helping me out today. Kyle has helped me gain the confidence to work on my own bike, and this is very much a recent thing for me. When I was growing up, everybody was expected to learn in the same way, and it wasn't until I got older that I realized how much of a tactical and hands-on learner I am. So I'm really grateful for people like Kyle who have enabled me to learn in a setting like this. Quick note in the fender install, these are the PDW Full Metal fenders and they went on pretty quick. I can't say that's always the case with fenders, so we were happy about that. I also swapped my stem last minute because I found this Velo Orange tall stack stem and I thought it looked great. So the bike is ready to rip. I love this city, but I really do hibernate a lot in the winters, and as the years have gone by, there's a big part of me that has come to feel that this is a feature and not a bug. Honestly, I think the whole world would be a better place if everybody took 2 consecutive months off in the winter. Technically, I'm not off, we all got bills to pay, but while I tell myself I'm stuck inside and while I'm dreaming of rides like this one, I tend to get extra creative. I have a lot of hobbies, so I think it's nice to switch lanes for a few months and really lean into things more. This year, it made me really excited to shoot photos again. I always come out of hibernation with some photography goal for the year. But anyway, this is something Emma and I were reminiscing about and how it's been a catalyst for creativity our entire lives so far. Speaking of creativity, we are so excited for the channel this year. We already have 3 new bikes to build and feature on the channel, one of which is a Soma Pescadero. I can't wait to get some roadie action again. And the other 2 are Surleys. Emma's been wanting a better all-terrain bike setup for a while, so she got a grappler frame to build up. Also, earlier this year I said I want to up the frequency of videos this year, and that's still the goal. I just really underestimated how early we can start filming, so unsurprisingly, we're taking the long way to the cafe today and really just soaking it all in. First photo of 2026. I miss that so much.
Maybe it's because we both have spring birthdays that come after this long winter hibernation period, but birthdays to me always feel like a marker. A bit like New Year's, I guess, where you look at the year that passed and think about the year ahead. We were chatting about this a lot, and I kept thinking about a lesson that really sank in for me last year, which is that effort is not inherently valuable. So effort isn't valuable just for the sake of effort. Maybe fellow millennials will relate, but when I was coming up and starting my career in the 2010s, people used words like grind set unironically. There was a real glorification of hustle culture, and I felt like it was a good thing to just work the longest hours and try the hardest. But now I'm realizing the best things I've done or made have been done with time and consideration around them. Spring feels like peak Canadian poetry to me. Sure, it's a mundane kind of poetry, but there's this palpable undercurrent of emotion as soon as we can comfortably be outside again. We were fighting windburn here, so it wasn't exactly warm, but comfortable in comparison to the last few months. I guess comfort is in the eye of the beholder, but it felt like we were all riding a collective high. I was introduced to the term flaneuring recently, and I'm curious if any of you are already familiar with this concept. It's a French term that refers to the act of aimless urban wandering. So it's not a take it in while you do an errand situation. It is just aimless wandering. I'm fascinated with this concept because it's something we've been drawn to and doing for as long as we've lived in a city. And this ride was a flanneur's dream. There was dancing and other surprises everywhere you looked, even outdoor yoga circles across from a civil protest. A city is a living, breathing ecosystem of contradictions, and I just love it so much.
Another reminder I enjoy in the spring is who we share this city with, and this planet with. I almost did not see this raccoon at first. So we're getting closer to our cafe stop, but man, I really got the photo bug today, which made me think something I want to do this year is revisit places I like to take pictures of repeatedly. I think I inadvertently been in the habit of just moving on after photographing something, but I'm interested in repetition and visiting a spot or a subject over and over and what that will do to my photography. I think it'll be fun for my brain. Perhaps it'll make photography an even slower hobby. So as we mentioned, we were talking a ton about turning 35 and what we've learned so far, many things centered around creative practices. So here's something I consider to be one of the biggest lessons I've learned so far: the art of knowing when not to play. This is something my dad told me as a young musician. My dad is an incredible guitar player, and knowing when not to play is not about suppressing your skill or your personal style. It's about playing appropriately for a song and contributing to the song as a whole. And if anything, when you do open up, it's just more impactful. So I think this has been applicable to so many things in my life. I'm thinking about it right now when making this video. Anyway, we are gaining speed and it's coffee time. We pulled up to one of our favorite spots in the city called Red Door Cafe. It's technically not a new cafe, but this location is brand new. I will always recommend this spot, and I'm selfishly happy to see them grow because the food is always so good, and lately the menu has only gotten better. We pushed it as long as we can go without coffee, and we worked up quite the appetite, so we wasted no time in here. I'm going to jump back to something I wrote down and felt compelled to share because I think this is the other biggest life lesson on my end so far. It's that all we have is each other. I'm going to pull a heavy one for a second, so apologies for the tone switch. I lost a lot of family members growing up, including my own mother when I was a teenager, and there's so much about having that experience numerous times over that has shaped the way I think and how I navigate this world. We really are just passing through, and I think I've learned a lot about living life like it's short, in my own way at least, but more than anything, it's left me feeling like we really only have each other in this world. Also, side lesson, grieve together. In my experience, grief just has to suck, and the only thing that sort of helps is grieving together with other people. We're full of caffeine and sugar, and I said what I wanted to say about grief, and now I offer you a Skatepark edit. Today's video is sponsored by Insta360. If you've watched our channel before, you'll know that the Insta360 Go Ultra is our favorite action camera to use. Today we're checking out the new Tadej Pogačar Special Edition Insta360 Go Ultra. Let's open this box. Insta360 packed a lot into this box, like our most used and favorite accessory, the magnetic pendant camera mount, and the Easy Clip. But in addition to those standard bundle accessories, this bundle also includes the Ring remote for hands-free filming, the Easy Clip headband, the Flexi strap mount, the Flexi angle mount, a 128GB micro SD card, the action mount, sticky tabs, and a pre-printed signature photo of the Speedy Boy himself, and last but not least, the camera itself in this limited tour edition colorway. Let's talk about this camera quick. What I tell everyone who asks me about it is that the Go Ultra offers the best hands-free filming experience, hands down. Hands-free, hands down. The camera is ultra lightweight at only 53 grams, so you barely feel it on your clothes when you're out filming, and it's magnetic, so sticking it to things and filming yourself is really easy. In addition to that, the 4K 60 frames per second quality of this camera delivers smooth Ultra HD seamless footage, and the ultra wide field of view captures your handlebars and full surroundings for an immersive video experience. Also, the new upgraded chip enhances your low light footage capabilities. If you would like to learn more about this camera, you can check out the link in our video description, and please use code BikeBreath at checkout. It really helps us out. Thank you to Insta360 for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to it. I actually was not a big fan of that photo, but I thought I'd still include it because that car was pretty cool. For anyone who's curious, I'm shooting on a Fuji X100V, and I found a custom black and white film simulation that's pretty close to Ilford HP5. I'd be curious to hear what anyone else is shooting with currently. Drop it in the comments below. So we really locked into a flow riding around town. Perhaps it was the caffeine still, but I got a ton of footage from this next stretch. Let's soak it all in. It's funny how every spring I draw a blank when I try to think of where to ride. I guess it's the perfect opportunity to really practice flaneuring, or to flaneur. But it's exactly what I want to spend my time doing. What stands out to me as the biggest lesson so far in my 35 years is time is a non-renewable resource. The older I get, the bigger the delta feels between how valuable time is to me versus almost any other resource, other than food and water. Almost 2 years ago, I left a corporate job that sounds great to talk about at a dinner party. There was a Seneca quote that was stuck in my head around that time. Every second that passes belongs to death. Maybe it sounds morbid, but it's a great disruptor. If I'm irritated about something, it just helps me put things back into perspective. Is this worth the seconds I'm spending on it? I'd love to know if there's quotes that really resonate with you guys that way. Anyway, this spot we're rolling up to is pretty special, especially at golden hour, so let's check it out.
Another birthday ride takeaway and something I want to carry with me into this next year of life is the art of caring for the things I already have. Maintenance doesn't come naturally to me, but lately I've been learning and practicing visible mending, over-dyeing clothes, and screen printing to try to revive some of my own things and thrifted pieces that have good bones. You'll see some of those pieces on our website soon, but this is especially top of mind after I heard an interview with Stuart Brand, who's a really fascinating guy. He recently wrote a book on maintenance, and in this interview he talked about living on a tugboat for the last 20 years and his relationship to maintaining it. He made this point about boats being an object that you rely on to keep you safe. Boats navigate water and they keep that water from killing you, and I'd put bikes into that same category. I rely on my bikes for safety, and it creates a different bond than I have with any other object. There's vulnerability there, and I want to put in the work to learn to care for them. That said, the fit check you just watched was Bedrock Sandals, who have a really cool repair program, by the way, Ripton jeans, an Old Machines for Freedom crewneck, a State the Label bandana, and a cap that I stole from Brendan. I might as well keep it going and do the fit check for B as well. Let's start with this Carhartt jacket that he got a sweet deal on at a local warehouse sale, this Calling in Sick hoodie, which he says is really comfy, some Carhartt Landon jeans, which are his favorite fit. He's also rocking the Bedrock mountain clogs because he's a copycat, and this colorful standard merino beanie. Overall, I give him a 6 out of 10 on this outfit because he's my husband and I have to keep him humble.
All right, first bike check of 2026. Let's go. I'm riding a Velo Orange Chessie, which is an aluminum frame and steel fork monster gravel bike. I have it set up with carbon bars from PDW. They have a little bit of rise, which I really like the feel of when zipping around town. Not that I'm very zippy today. The bike is an XL and I put 700 by 45 Panaracer Gravel Kings on it. Another highlight of this bike is the Growtac Equal brakes. I love these so much. I just bought them for my other bike recently. I'm running an Old Man Mountain Elkhorn rack up front, a GRX 2x system for gearing, and those brand new PDW Full Metal fenders, which I'm really liking the look of. Overall, it's a pretty simple and super capable bike, and I'm due for a slightly longer term review of it because I've been riding this bike exactly 1 year now. This is Emma's Bassi Hogsback. You've probably seen it on our channel if you've tuned in before, but if you haven't, you might have to wait for another bike check because our spot got taken over for a music video shoot. If you have any questions about either of our bikes, drop a comment below, or any question you have. We love chatting. The ride's not over yet, let's keep it moving. We got just enough rain for a second to have that post-rain ride feeling that I love. Looking back at my notes, I actually wrote down a ton of things I learned in 35 years of life. Things related to mental health, different experiences, friendship, even ice cream. I got a bit lost in the ride itself today to share them all. Maybe we should live stream in the future to focus more. Ultimately, I'm grateful for the people, places, experiences, and even bikes that have allowed me to learn in my 35 years of life. And riding bikes around Ottawa today was a joy. I love seeing everyone come out of hibernation, and I know these kids here were freezing with their shoulders tight and their hands in their pockets. It was maybe 4 degrees Celsius outside. Very Canadian of them. We're gonna wrap this one up here, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and consider subscribing if you have not already. Both help us out tremendously. You could also find us on Instagram and at bikebreath.com, and a huge thank you to Insta360 for sponsoring today's video. If you're considering grabbing the new limited edition Go Ultra or anything from Insta360's website, please use code BikeBreath at checkout. Alright, keep it real.